Thank you, Michael, and welcome
Alrighty,
back
the
all
defending
season ticket
Stanley
holders
Cup champions in
and members
town
of
the
Leafs
last 2
Nation
years. The
to
defending
Air
Stanley Cup
Canada
champions
Centre.
have gotten to the conference championship. We'll see what unfolds this year. Tonight's starting goalies brought to you by Intact Insurance Company. You're back. It is Jonathan Quick getting the start for the LA Kings. Greatest goalie in franchise history. Win, save percentage. Had an assist in the game against Ottawa last week. And at the other end, he is facing James Reimer. 41 saves against Detroit on Wednesday in that 2-1 shootout win. He has wins in all 3 games that he's played this year, facing 40-plus shots. No other goalie in the league can stake that claim. We're underway, and it's great to have you with us late on a Sunday afternoon, wherever you're looking at. Snapshot coming in there as Reimer gets his first touch. And the puck cleared down. Muzzin skating back after it. And he's given a little bump in there along the boards. Leafs coming back after playing a night game. Santorelli steps through the blue paint and couldn't maintain possession. And the puck just played out. Tonight's lineup's brought to you by Sale, the Canadian outdoor superstore in Burlington, Etobicoke, Oshawa, Vaughan, and now open in Cambridge.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings came out on fire against the Montreal Canadiens, and they should have been up 3 or 4 goals easy as they outshot Montreal 14-5 in the first, but we're down 1-0. Why? Carey Price was off the charts. Watch for LA to start here quick. They get on their forecheck, they could be pretty tough.
Bozak out there with Kessel and Van Riemsdyk. Strong game last night, but really the Leafs had all 4 lines rolling last night. There were a few times where it was the 4th line that really sparked the first line to a good shift. On one particular occasion, they came out, drew a penalty. Power play unit got out there and scored for the Leafs. It was that kind of a team effort, and they've been getting those of late. Here's Martinez, plays it across. Curious to know what an ex-goaltender, Greg Millen, thinks about the move to start James Reimer.
Well, we got a penalty coming up here, a slash to start this game, but James Reimer was just so good against the Detroit Red Wings. He deserves a chance to play again in this game, and in a back-to-back situation with a quick turnaround, I think it's the right decision to give him the start. And look at the work as he was outstanding in the first power play of the game. Goes to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So the Leafs will get a shot on the power play as a result of this.
And a little slash there on Bozak, and that's why he's in the box, Richard. There's 2 or less.
Leafs are 12th in the league in the power play, 20.4%. And the Kings in the penalty kill ranked 11th in the NHL, 82.9%. Here's Van Riemsdyk. He'll chip it up there. Franson quickly across to Pinot. Up there for Kessel. Fires it in. Van Riemsdyk parked right down in front. That worked on the Leafs' first power play last night. Van Riemsdyk gets right in front, and he's tough to see around if you're a goalie, I'll bet.
Well, that's where he has to be, and you got to do that against one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League, and Jonathan Quick, who's had another great start to the season.
Quick career against Toronto, 2-2-0. No shutouts, 2.73 goals against average. Van Riemsdyk pushing his way up towards the corner. Comes all the way up around Franson, nipping over there to get it. Here's Pinot. Nowhere to go, so he feathers it to Franson. He'll punch it down low. Puck comes out to Kessel. Looking towards the front. Goes back door there for Franson, who comes up. Sharp angle shot. Rebound jumps out in front of Quick, and the Leafs will keep it in. Pinot gingerly feeds it up there in the wing and takes it back. Works it all the way across for Franson. Shoots! That one coming in and deflected off of Van Riemsdyk. Comes up here for Pinot. Franson, Leafs really moving that puck around well, aren't they? Kessel, Pinot, shooting. That was blocked on the way through. Comes out, Franson, another shot. Bobbles around, right to the goal crease, and it's waved off. Oh my goodness, that was close. Here's Pinot. He'll pound one in, and that was partially blocked by Braden McNabb. He lumbers over after it. This has been a long shift for both the power play unit and the penalty killers. Legs getting heavy. Here's Van Riemsdyk. Kessel in front, and he's stopped. Oh, what a stop. Quick to the mark was Jonathan Quick.
Are you kidding me? I mean, is there anybody better in the National Hockey League at getting from one side of the crease than the other than Jonathan Quick? Here's the first save through traffic. Watch Green here as he's going to pull one right out from behind him and save a goal there. And then moments ago, Quick, I don't know how he gets across, because as a goaltender, you got to worry about Kessel with that big shot. He passes, and somehow Quick gets across on Bozak. When you're playing against Jonathan Quick, you have to be aware of his second effort. You think you got a goal, often you don't.
He's quick. Oh. Here's Doughty. Chips it up off the boards and out. It's been well documented by others, but I must add my voice to the mild astonishment that Drew Doughty didn't win the Lou Marshall Award. Surprising. Here comes Kadri. He'll tiptoe in over the line. Works it across. Gardner in there. Shoots. He fired that one wide. Riley. Tipped up the line. Back up. Here comes Richards. Wade shoots. Reimer got the pad out. Rebound was a generous one, but shot away. Puck comes up around the boards to Doughty. He'll ring it around back. Clarkson over there. Takes a bit of a bump. And Doughty will skate back to pick it up. Both teams hurrying in some changes. This is Doughty. Puck fired in there by Muzzin. Reimer looking for Winnick. Robidas. And it comes away. And Winnick tips it ahead. Santorelli. You can hear Winnick yell, "Get over." Wanted Santorelli to move to the open ice. He's after it up in the corner now. Williams. Goal up after it. Rides his man into the boards. That was Holzer. Puck comes up around to Santorelli. Here's Robidas. Back for Holzer. Long pass up ahead. Just tipped in there by Peter Holland, and the Leafs will change him up. This is Dwight King. Climbs his way in over the blue line. Sort of one-hands it ahead for Trevor Lewis. Tried to get it back out in front. Puck work back to the line. McNabb fires one up. Lewis going after it there. Number 22 for the Kings. Looks around. Kopitar is down in the mix. Puck fired up. King looking for it. King looking around. Clifford, number 13, comes after it. Puck knocked down. Lewis. Here's Doughty. Hustles over there. He'll keep it in. Just slid it up along the boards, but rushed back out. Here comes Booth in over the blue line. Smith is with him. Booth was ridden out of the play by Doughty. Lewis to Doughty. He's got some room on that left wing. Tips it off the board. Tried to dance his way around Holzer. Doughty right up there in the forecheck. Vanook holds him off. Kadri. Kopitar. Knocked down. Kadri comes in. Winnick is with him. Muzzin hustled it up around the boards. This is Brown. Kopitar clears it in. Vanook dishes across. Good stretch here without a whistle. Puck clear down. And again, both teams change. Martinez feathered it up there. He was looking for Toffoli, and play whistle down. The puck was tapped with a high stick, so we will take a timeout. No score yet in this one. Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet returns in a moment.
Well, you mentioned James Van Riemsdyk and his presence in front of the net on the power play. Well, last night he was parked exactly where Randy Carlyle loves him to be, right in front, and gets rewarded for it in the first power play of the game this evening. You got to get in front of Jonathan Quick, as he is so good. And look at how Quick uses Van Riemsdyk as a goaltender and then pushes himself into the area where he knows the puck's going to show up so he can see it. And also, 9 times out of 10, the puck will end up right where he positions himself.
I know we're going back a few years, but who was the toughest guy when you were playing goal who got in your lap on the power play like that? I'll let you think about it for a second. There must have been a few.
S.J. Anderson to start with.
Puck knocked back out in front. Lupul starts back. That's a pretty tough list just to start right there.
How's that?
Muzzin trying to come out for the Kings. Toffoli rolls it in, and Reimer a little unsure, so discretion the better part of valor, and he will just hang on to it. And that was Holland who was making his presence felt to help out support Robidas.
I like the way Randy Carlyle's approached this weekend with the quick turnaround. He's broken it down into periods. And we got to win each period and not worry about the big picture of looking at the fact that we have back-to-back games and a quick turnover the way that we do, particularly when the LA Kings were sitting in our city watching the game last night. And that happens a lot in this league, where a team will be in the city and often the opposition is playing, or vice versa. It's the way the schedule works out sometimes.
I always wonder a little bit about that. I mean, Toronto's the pretty big city, fifth biggest city in North America, metropolis in North America. Pretty nice city for the guys to go out in. Puck comes back.
What are you saying, Paul?
Well, I would think the coach would be, guys, we got to play tomorrow. Williams fires that one across, so everybody take it easy.
They're not broadcasting.
Dinner and in bed, lights out by 10. Gardner, knocked down. Holzer looking for it, chopped it loose, but right to a King. Puck came in front. That was Williams who chopped it across in front of the goal. Here's Van Riemsdyk. He'll saucer it down into the corner and follows it up. Regeer gets there. Bozak looks around. He's got Van Riemsdyk down low, but the puck skipped by, and Phaneuf well pinched in from the left point. Kept it in front. Bozak just missed there. He was right on the doorstep. And a massive groan goes up from some of the faithful here at the ACC.
Imagine how he feels. That's the second big chance he's had in this game where he's looking at a pretty good opportunity for a goal. Real good.
Williams moves it up ahead. Here's McNabb. Trevor Lewis. Reimer lets it go. Williams up there. King up there looking for it. Puck knocked loose. This is Clifford. Fires it over to the corner. Clifford gets it up. Is looking for Williams. Robidas. This is Smith. Passed it up ahead there. Booth. And Smith. Smith up to take the body. He's played pretty well since the Leafs called him up from the Marlies, the Marley captain. He's only been a healthy scratch once. Made a nice contribution to the fourth line. Brown. And a penalty coming up. And the Kings will get a power play chance. Kopitar comes out. Goaltender heads to the bench. Extra attacker over the boards, but the puck is touched, and a power play coming up for the Kings.
This period brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's year-end countdown is on now at a Toyota dealer near you.
They're going to say tripping on this play to Trevor Smith here as he draws the penalty there, and Bozak wide open in front. The book on Quick is simply this. He's below average on his glove side, far above average everywhere else. So if you're going to shoot on him, try the glove. And that's what Bozak did, and I think Quick got a piece of that one as it hit his glove and went over the net. So statistically, he's great everywhere. But if there is a weakness on Quick, it's on the glove side, just over the pad or over the glove high.
The Kings are 20th in the league on the power play, 26th on the road. Kopitar fired one in. And, Dustin Brown, number 23, parked right in front. Puck comes in, and he is, well, much like Van Riemsdyk, that's his job. Get in front, cause a screen.
And the Kings against the Montreal Canadiens a couple nights ago, as I mentioned, they were absolutely spectacular. And their power play, they'll bring Kopitar up high, and they'll have three up high. You got that weapon with Drew Doughty, who absolutely blasts the puck as well. And there's the first shot through traffic that we just witnessed against Reimer with a good save. But they had lots of chances the other night in Montreal, tons of them.
Doughty threw it across to Muzzin. He'll fire it up. Muzzin and Doughty, a pretty nice offensive duo back there in the blue line for the Kings. Doughty tight ropes along the blue line, looking around, and he'll float it into the slot. Kopitar was looking for it. Carter as well. Bozak chops at it. It's a Carter who's lost his stick. And then Franson with a bit of a cross check there. He might have gotten away with that. Puck fired up around the boards by Phaneuf. 1:08 to go in the power play for the Kings. And Doughty all the way back to set the floor, so to speak. Doughty comes up to Foley. Clears it up towards the corner. Pearson up there looking forward. Will come up and around, and it's clear down the ice.
Over!
Toffoli clearing it in. Puck down back in the net now. This is Pearson. Toffoli works it back to the blue line. Martinez. Toffoli. Does he get a shot? Waits. Shoots. That was stuffed by Reimer. Rebound comes out and is cleared. Toffoli moves it down. Pearson. Toffoli back to the net. Back for Richards. Waiting. Top of the point. Martinez. Richards poised at the top of the slot. Pearson with it. And sneaking up there is Richards. He's got it now. Works it out. Puck fired by Martinez. That skips up off the boards. McNabb up after it. Gets it down there for Pearson. Waiting. Tried to center it. Went off the stick. Martinez at the blue line. Nice job to keep it in despite the persistence of Santorelli. Robidas trying to squeeze his man out there back in the net. That's Toffoli, who snakes away. Centered it out. Moved back to the blue line. Regier. Toffoli. And he was tied up. Nice job there by Robidas to mark him and take him out of the play. Santorelli overshocks at it. And Smith clears it out. Teams all even up. Doughty. Williams to the left. He'll go to the net now looking for a feed. He's just parked off the edge of the crease. Doughty with it here in the corner. In front there for Williams. He was tied up, and the puck skips up over the glass and into the netting, and we get a stoppage. 8:21 to go first period. Zeros on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet. I'm Molson Canadian diehard fan and proud partner of the Leafs.
Oh, one of the buzzwords this year in the National Hockey League is puck possession. You watched the Kadri, Santorelli, and Winnick line last night against the Detroit Red Wings in the offensive zone. Look at how long they had the puck and created some chances with their cycle, winning puck battles, and the clock continues. And this was one of their better shifts in the second period that totaled 58 seconds.
Love that Skycam. Paid for itself right there. There you go. There we go. The whole investment paid for, right? That sequence right there, that did it. It's a pretty cool view. Here's Williams. Gets it out, or tried to, and Reimer wise to it.
And what a great shift. And of course, the more time, obviously, you spend in the offensive zone, the less time you have to worry about teams spending time in your defensive zone and creating chances. And that's the puck possession that Randy Carlyle has been emphasizing, having good shifts, cycling down low, puck possession in the offensive zone, and that's happened more than a few times against the Detroit Red Wings the last couple of games for the Maple Leafs.
Well, something that'll help you with puck possession is face-off wins, and the Kings dominating that right now, 8-1. They've won 8 of 9 draws. Holland, the lone Leaf face-off winner so far, if you're keeping track. And they lose another one there. 9-1 for the Kings. Puck bounces down in front. Quick shot on goal by Stoll. Oh, and a nice reaction by Reimer.
And you called it, Paul. I mean, you got to win some draws, it's particularly in your own zone. And sooner or later, you're going to get hurt. Puck through traffic. And Riley just knocks it away. And the Kings are going to the net looking for a lot of rebound attempts. And Williams is as good as they come. It's spinning off players and finding loose pucks in the crease, and he almost gets rewarded for it there, but a fine save by Reimer as he recovered from the initial rebound that he let out.
Here's Williams, and comes out of a real ruck, almost with the puck. Gardner gets to it. They'll send it up around the boards. Holzer. Doughty plays it back across. Williams chips it in. Here's Gardner. Holzer picks it up. Van Riemsdyk. Holzer has fit in quite well.
Kept it simple, using his size. He's done just fine.
Here's King.
And he's had a couple of kicks at the can, too, so he knows what to expect coming up from the American Hockey League.
Regier plays it up at the blue line. King was looking to get a handle on it. Connick scored that lovely goal for the Leafs last night. Walked in off the left side. Riley moves it up ahead. Booth moved it in over the blue line. Broken up. Here's Brown. Across, Martinez. A little bit of room. Walks it to the corner. Tries to cut across. He had Kopitar up there with him. Top of the point now. Carter shoots. Oh, Carter moving up after it. Tap just by him. Here's Phaneuf. Carter up to watch him. Kopitar steps up. Couldn't get to it. And he will head back out as Phaneuf sets up the game. Phaneuf moved it up ahead to a streaking Santorelli. Kadri. Trying to get it up there. It'll come around. Holzer pushing it up around back of the goal. Nobody out in front. Now Kadri remedies that. Coming into the front of the goal. Score! Leafs grab the lead, 1-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first period.
We just showed you this line and how successful they were cycling the puck last night. Well, here they go again in this period. Good down ice pressure, terrific pinch by Franson. Back behind the net, work the puck again. And then here's at the end of it, Winnick takes the puck to Santorelli. He goes across again, rifles it up past Jonathan Quick on the far side to get the Leafs the 1-0 lead.
Wasn't sure whether Kadri got a piece of it on the far side or not.
It was close. He was there.
Santorelli, who's played so well for the Leafs, and he strikes again and gets them on the scoreboard.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey. Brought to you by Molson Canadian, die-hard fan and proud partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, the birthday boy, 30 games, 21 points, turns 29 years of age today, and he is coming off a career best season in Vancouver, and what a great pickup he was for the Leafs. Tied for the team lead with 15 assists heading into this game, and then he picks up a goal there.
And he also has terrific leadership abilities as well. His work ethic off the ice is spectacular. And in fact, the players actually kind of kid him about it. But when you have players like Santorelli that not only is playing so well on the ice and working so hard, but then he brings it off the ice in his work ethic also, and it's just contagious with the rest of your group.
Here's Kessel. Got it outside the blue line, and Martinez will fire it in. Robida. Under a bit of pressure. Williams is up there. Gaborik is waiting there for it. He's got it now. Walks and wires, and that was knocked away by Reimer up over the glass and into the netting, and we get a whistle.
This season, stay out of the penalty box. Find gifts you'll adore, like Arctic Brilliance Canadian Diamonds, only at People's, Canada's diamond store. Let love shine.
Daryl Sutter's been pretty patient with his group so far. He knows they played well in Montreal. He said, hey, did you see how the other goalie played when talking to the press? Always a great quote. And he knows the most important time of the season is not just quite yet. It's down the stretch and, of course, in the playoffs. And he's good at that, getting his team ready.
Here's Doughty. So good. Just created enough room to get a shot away, and he tests Reimer. No rebound, but man, he is the best.
You know, we don't get a chance to see Drew Doughty live in the East that much. And when you do, it's a special treat every time. I had the pleasure last year of covering the Los Angeles Kings a little bit in the playoffs, and I appreciated him then, but I appreciate it even more after watching him live game in and game out. And what a career he has had so far, and does so much, and such a competitor too. I was at ace level for a lot of it, and he, boy, does he compete hard and really cares, and is quite a leader on the bench also.
Plays about 28 minutes, 47 seconds a game so far.
That's second in the league, only the Suter, of course, for the Minnesota Wild, and he is a horse for this hockey club out on every situation. Penalty kill, power play,
Took the
regular
words
shift.
right out of my. That is exactly how guys refer to him. What a horse. Kings continue to dominate in faceoffs, 13-2. But the most important number, the score, dominated by the Leafs right now, 1-0. Santorelli scoring the goal. Santorelli gets it up there. He'll go to the slot, taps it down low to the corner. Winnick was looking for it, so was Kadri. Puck comes back, Franson. Best option just to fire it back in. It comes up off the board. Here's Winnick, works it around, skipped off the blade of Santorelli's stick. Puck rolling around and is pushed out. Kadri just got out-muscled there, and he'll skate back to pick it up. Kings hustle in a change. Under 5 minutes to go, first period. Toronto with a 1-0 lead. 2 games in less than 24 hours. A tall order. No matter what kind of shape you're in. And these are all young athletes in great shape for the most part. King. Lewis banks at it. Tried to get it up around back of the goal for Clifford. Rolls out in front. Oh, a great chance there for Trevor Lewis as he drifted across. And Reimer stayed with him.
Canon's Best in Glass sale. Save big on cameras and lenses for a limited time only. Visit canon.ca/bestinglass today.
If your shift is too long, this is what happens. Kadri with the giveaway, and then all you can do then is draw a penalty as Phaneuf has no choice. Put the hook on to Lewis, and then what a save by Reimer here as he gets his pad up just enough to make a beauty. And Phaneuf in the box for 2 or less.
Kings 0 for 1 in the power play, had 3 shots on goal in the last one. This is Kopitar. Kopitar looking. He'll walk in, tried to fire it across, went off of Robidag's skate. Doughty got it up there for Toffoli. Puck came across in front dangerously there. Kopitar was right in the neighborhood. He'll tuck it around back of the goal. Brown was looking for it. And the puck cleared out.
Kopitar just 1 goal in his last 11. He has been cold. That was in Ottawa a couple of nights ago.
Carter dishes it off. Kopitar all the way around in the corner. It was coming to him, but then was broken up and cleared. Gardner was there to break up that play. This is Doughty way back in his own zone. 1:10 to go in the power play for the Kings. Doughty tucks it up to Williams. Stoll up after it into the corner. Gaborik up there as well. 3 Kings up there in the forecheck, and they get caught. Gardner comes in, and he'll slow it down, fires a tester in there, and Quick was able to steer it away. And back now with some speed is Williams. Swings in over the line. Left it there, moving up is McNabb. Gets it around back of the goal. Williams still, and he runs into Robidas. There's Stoll trying to ferret the puck loose. He got it loose. This is Gaborik. Gaborik drifting towards the front of the net. Williams with the puck. Martinez down low. Gets it out. Sneaking right up there was McNabb. He'll tap it back up. Martinez open in the high slot. Puck chipped up. Reimer stopped it. And this is Santorelli for Toronto. and he will saucer it down the ice.
Santorelli's had a terrific first period. He has a goal. He's done some very nice work in the penalty kill.
Toffoli got it to the blue line, but no further. Inside the last 2 minutes of this opening period. Kadri. Riley heads back after it, and he's got company quickly. Toffoli up there looking for it, pushes it down to the corner. Puck centered out in front. This is Doughty, off balance, got a shot away. Toffoli coming after it, gets it down into the corner for Pearson. Pearson. Toffoli was out in the slot, he couldn't get it to him. Richards was also there up in the mix. This is Lupul. Gingerly guides it down to the corner. Kadri coming up there. Clarkson in support as well. This is Clifford. He'll start back. Taking off like a shot was King. And King up into the corner. Meets up with Phaneuf. They lock horns. Puck comes loose. Clifford with it. Walks it back towards the blue line. Phaneuf in traffic. Just knocked it off the boards quickly. And Clarkson gets it out. Martinez.
Hold on.
Lewis burrowing his way up towards the corner. And the puck tipped up over the glass and into the netting, and we get a stoppage.
And stay tuned for the first intermission for your Q4.
This period brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's year-end countdown is on now at a Toyota dealer near you.
Lots of hockey coming up on City tonight from St. Catharines, Ontario. Ron McLean, your host. Calgary Flames, Chicago Blackhawks, and the legend Bob Cole with the call, along with Gary Galley on Rogers Hometown Hockey. That's over on City later on. Hope you can join us.
Solid game so far for Reimer.
Yes, he has answered the call coming in to spell off Bernier, which is all you can ask for from a backup goalie for sure. Winnick. Muzzin. This is Kadri. Back to the line. Quick shot. Good! Francis.
Guess who's on the ice again? The Kadri line. And again, great cycle. Santorelli goes to the net. I don't think it touched him, but Franzen has that wonderful quick release, and he gets it off in a hurry. Here's this little work behind the net, back to the point. Easy hockey. Point shot, go to the net, rewarded. And Jonathan Quick never picks this puck up at all, and that quick release shot from Franzen from the point.
And just to re-emphasize it, tremendously quick release. That was not on the blade of his stick for more than a breath.
When he's on his game, and he's been on it for the most part this season, he hardly ever misses the net, and he just has that quick little backswing where he just gets it on the net, and it's got a lot of velocity, and it can fool goaltenders. And Jonathan Quick, I don't think, picked this up at all on the way through to give the Leafs the lead.
Top scoring defenseman on the Leafs. Strung together a 9-game consecutive point scoring streak last month, longest of his career. Right on the mark, as he was with that shot. Williams coming up after. Franson indeed does get credit. Kadri with the assist at 19:30. And offside called there on the Kings.
And let's look at Franson's work this season. Everyone, no big backswing, just a little release through traffic. There's two, and here's one tonight. Identical. And up high, I believe this hit. In fact, I know it did hit an LA King player up high and changed direction on Jonathan Quick, and that's why he was fooled on that goal.
What do we see right there? 3 of his 5 goals in short order, all from the point. So Santorelli paces the Leafs. That man scores a goal late in the period, and the Leafs with the 2-0 lead over the defending Stanley Cup champions after 1. Here again, your host, Darren Millard.
Welcome back to Toronto, where the Maple Leafs have a 2-0 lead after 1 on goals by Mike Santorelli and Cody Franson. And I am now joined by Chris Johnston. Chris, okay, we saw James Reimer with an excellent first period. But let's talk a little bit about Jonathan Bernier. He may be gone from LA, but he's not forgotten by his former teammates, is he?
Certainly not, Christine. We saw him with Jonathan Quick take a quick moment during the warm-up tonight in front of us. And, you know, it's an interesting dynamic between these two. Bernier, as we see some of his work in last night's victory over Detroit, you know, he asked out of LA. He battled Jonathan Quick for years for that #1 job there, yet still, despite that, he's a very popular man in the Kings dressing room. I had a chance to speak with Quick yesterday, and he lit up. He's a man of few words normally, but he lit up when I asked him about Bernier, and he said that basically he goes out of his way to watch Eastern games, to find the Leafs on television, to see Bernier. He said he always knew he could be a #1. He's happy to have seen his success so far.
Well, another guy who's happy with some success is Jake Muzzin, the Woodstock, Ontario native, has quietly had a bit of a breakthrough year.
He has, and you know, a real big player for the Kings. At 25 years old, he is considered a late bloomer, and with good reason. As a teenager, he missed a year and a half of junior hockey. He had 2 herniated discs. He told me he considered giving up the sport altogether during that painful recovery, and ultimately ended up entering the NHL as a free agent. A number of teams looked at him. The one he really wanted was the Leafs, of course, having grown up an hour away, but they didn't have interest at that time, and you know, as we know now, it was a good signing by the Kings.
Well, and the Kings are hoping to get back into this one as we head up to the second period, and the gentleman with the call, Greg Millen and Paul Roman.
All right, thank you, Chris. And just to follow up on that, you love to see a guy like Muzzin, a late bloomer, so to speak. And I know, Greg, we're not going to change the system or fix it, but a lot of guys, I don't think, hit their stride until they get to his age. You know, somebody's 19, 20, 21, it's so difficult.
You can underline the position of goal and defense in that category as the top 2 in terms of development, and it takes longer for those positions to develop.
Santorelli picks up an assist. They've changed the scoring on the second goal that the Leafs scored. Franson gets the goal from Kadri and Santorelli, so Santorelli with a 2-point period.
Now the Leafs have the lead. Obviously, a quick turnaround for them. They have to be very efficient now in terms of their game to protect the lead. And what does that mean? That means trying, if possible, to continue that strong forecheck like they had at times in period #1. And the second thing for sure is to be clean in the neutral zone and not give pucks away so the LA Kings can get going on their forecheck and cycle as they do so well with their size. They're going to win a few more draws, too.
Exactly. They were very poor in the first period on faceoffs.
And really the only negative in the period #1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Other than that, a real good first period for them.
Kings were 80% on the draws in that opening period. Martinez gets it up. And this is Gardner. Backpedaling all the way and then chips it up off the board. Williams was up there to try to knock it down. Comes out Martinez and Williams. Martinez again. They play a bit of catch, he and Williams. Puck just tapped in by Gaborik. Here's Gardner. And takes his time as the Leafs complete some changes. Good look at the whites of Gardner's eyes as he fires the puck up ahead, and striding up after getting there with a nice bit of effort was Peter Holland. Puck knocked up ahead. Pearson. And over the blue line, he was bumped off the boards. Puck comes back out. Lupul chips it up ahead. Into the corner goes Clarkson. Looks towards the front of the goal. Lupul's up there. So's Holland. Goes all the way back for Robidoux. Fires one in. Had a lot of the momentum taken off it as it was partially blocked. And Quick, no problem handling that.
On the big line for the Maple Leafs, they fly the zone, and sometimes they fly it a little bit too much. And here's Gardner behind the net looking for a play, and there's no forwards in sight. I know they're trying for the stretch pass, but you got to have a little support down low. The next shift, they do use the stretch pass, and Holland ends up wide open, and Jonathan Quick got cut. Do I go? Do I not go? And it almost caught him there. Holland almost found the far side of the net.
Oh, Jake Muzzin got caught too. All of a sudden, boom. Holland was right up on him and past him. This is Booth in the corner. Panik gets it across towards the front. King down into the corner, tried to get it across. Clifford up after him.
So far in this game, the fourth line battle has been won by LA. That's the only part of the Leaf game that has to get a little better here.
Sportsnet Pick and Play, powered by Kia. Saturday matchups, and you could win one of two 2015 Kia 45s. Enter now, and you enter at sportsnet.ca.
Clifford, King, and Lewis have been dominating the Leafs' fourth line in period number 1 in terms of zone time. And that's an area where the Leafs' fourth line have to be a tiny bit better in this game to keep up against a very good fourth line for LA.
Kopitar was up there looking for it, just off the edge of the crease. Winnick gets it up ahead, Santorelli. Here comes Kopitar back the other way. Coming down the middle with him is Brown. Now he'll angle over. Kopitar back to the net. Brown goes to the front of the net, all the way back to Doughty. Fires one in. He's knocked away by Franzen. And the puck bounces around, and Muzzin had come back out with good reason. It looked as though the Leafs were going to transition there. Muzzin chips it up. Brown looking for Kopitar. Didn't get to him. Brown plays it up again. Here's Franzen. Chipped it up. Santorelli chops it to the corner. And Randy Carlyle will make some changes in the fly. So lots of open ice for the Kings to bring it out to center. On the way through is Williams. Long shot. Skips one in wide. Up there after it is Stoll. Couldn't get to it. Stoll is being tied up there by Holzer. This is Gaborik on the wraparound. Tucked it through the goal crease. Gaborik looking around. He's got Williams up there, but Leafs come back the other way. Kessel, always dangerous. Nice pass as he slipped it off onto the stick of Van Riemsdyk. Here's Kessel again. Kessel, high slot. Works it over, waiting front for Van Riemsdyk as Bozak got it over to him quickly. Tic-tac-toe. Here's Williams coming in, offside. Wow, Kessel, Bozak, Van Riemsdyk, nice combining there.
Well, remember the first period where Bozak was absolutely robbed by Jonathan Quick on a beautiful play by Kessel. And then he's got to be wondering as he was left wide open in front as well in period number 1. And here we are in period number 2. And this line offensively has made things happen. And they just have been that split second behind. And that was a wide open net that time on Jonathan Quick.
Game Center Plus Skycam giving you that unique view of the action. Richards, they're trying to coax it loose. Now he dressed to the circle and then spun around but couldn't get back to it. Clarkson. Lupul up by the line. Clarkson's up there too. Knocked it down, looking towards the front. He had Lupul going to the front of the goal. And away come the Kings. Toffoli. Couldn't get it by Holland. Toffoli up after it, digs that puck loose. All the way back to the line. McNabb steps up, shoots. And it skipped by. Looked as though Pearson was trying to get a stick on it, but it goes right to Reimer and he hangs on.
And an extra shot after the whistle there as Toffoli was getting into the crease and Robidas didn't like it. And they're both going to go, I believe. And we talked a lot about Bozak. And the big line was quiet last night. They haven't been as quiet tonight, even though they don't have anything to show for it. And there's the one play, Bozak right in front of the net. Green saved the day there. There's that unbelievable save by Jonathan Quick. And then Quick here, does he get his glove on that? He might have on that one where he's left wide open in front. And there's the last one as he comes across and tries to combine with James Van Riemsdyk. And he's saying to himself, sooner or later, I got to get one. I'm getting so many chances in this game.
Kings 13 shots on goal. The Leafs with 9. 2 goals on 9 shots for Toronto.
4-on-4 here now, Paul.
A little bit of extra room, and no surprise to see Doughty out there back in the left point.
He'd be like a rover in this situation. You really got to watch him.
And it just gets by him there. He'll have to chase it down in his own zone. Lupul up will be right on him. Muzzin was knocked down. Kadri, great hustle, lead in front of the net, and Lupul with a nice chance, just missed. After some great hustle by Kadri.
He's having a great night.
That one sizzles in, and it's parried away and then covered up by Reimer.
I want to show you a play earlier defensively. Kadri, we heard Chris Johnson talk about his talk with Brendan Shanahan. Watch him direct traffic. He's a late man. He's saying, I got the wide guy. And look at how defensively aware he is to pick up his man on the 3-on-3 situation. And then why not get it going in the offensive zone as he goes right in. And he's so strong in his skates. There's a good contact there on Muzzin. Gets the puck and creates a chance to score. He's had a good night. In on both goals also.
Don't want to put too fine a point on it, but Kadri, it's and this has happened before, but the last half dozen games or so, Greg, it's like a light has come on. And he just suddenly is doing everything that they expect him to do, and he's doing it well.
I think maybe it's because his offensive numbers are up a little bit more. He's a little bit noticeable, but defensively, he's been pretty good since the start of the season.
Oh, fair point, to be sure. But you notice the offense, for sure. Holzer throws it across. Gardner couldn't keep it in. Williams looking for that return feed from Regier. Martinez looking for Stoll. Couldn't find him. Holzer. Gardner. And being watched there by Gaborik. Holzer back to pick it up. Brown up there in the forecheck. Bozak stepped out of the way of the sights of Brown. Puck rushed back in. Pushed up to the corner by Doughty. He walks up there and bumps his man. Kessel missed that pass. And an icing call on Toronto.
Protect your engine in temperatures as low as 40 below with Mobil 1 Advanced Fuel Economy. Mobil 1. Energy lives here.
Well, Sutter was not at all critical of his team the other night in Montreal. How could he have been, really? They pounded 46 shots on goal, and Carey Price shut them down. But tonight, not getting the shots, only 15 so far. Martinez. Works it up there. Team's playing 4-on-4. Here's Holzer. Holzer coming in, and he'll just bump it up towards the corner. Leafs making changes. Martinez worked it up there on the right side. Trying to get to it was Carter. Now it comes right out there for Kopitar. Looked like it might have been a chance. Kadri. Santorelli. Like a dart up there to get to that puck. Works it back, but up, shoots one. It thuds off the boards and comes up and around and out. And Carter in over the blue line, then he's run into the stand by Francis. Winnick works it across. Santorelli tiptoeing up to the corner. Winnick over to help out. Here's Santorelli. Pocket pick there. Kadri looking for it. Santorelli, there's the side. Oh, nice play to get his stick on that. Martinez. Long pass up ahead. Breaking in. King, stop, shoots. Reimer equal to the task. Here's King again. Trying to get it across in front up there with Pearson. Panik played it across. Out in front for Panik, and it sort of misfired there. In any event, Lewis got in front of it. There's Holzer, pinched right up to keep that puck in and play his part in keeping the drive going. And they get quite a rush going down in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players coming out with it, cutting to the front with Boot. Puck sitting loose, trying to fire it in on goal. It'll bounce down, turning and shooting again from point blank with Smith, and it's stopped and held. Nice work by the Leafs' fourth line. A bit of an energy line. That's what they were doing last night and doing it well. 11:21 to go here in the second on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet.
Welcome back to the Air Canada Centre. Well, the Los Angeles Kings are set to play the San Jose Sharks in the Stadium Series outdoor game February 21st at Levi's Stadium in California. And the Sharks unveiled their jerseys for the game, which are pretty sharp. But when it comes to fashion, nothing compares to this band of merry men as the Leafs sported their best ugly Christmas sweaters at the annual team party. Good to see them get into the holiday spirit. And Paul, no truth to the rumor that they raided Greg Millen's closet for the party.
Maybe.
His aren't that good. What comes out? Trying to jam it there towards the goal was Kadri, knocked down. Tapped outside. Robidas moves it up.
I used to have a pink suit I reserved for the LA trip that went over well.
Panik is knocked down. I'm not even.
White shoes and sunglasses. Perfect.
Nothing to add. Reimer's going to cover it up. What do we do? Is this Fashion TV now? We get the Sky Cam. We got Fashion TV. It's all going.
And we got Doughty mixing it up with Panik a bit also. Panik with a pretty good scrap last night.
Well, all hockey all the time. And pleased to be part of bringing it to you. Rogers Hometown Hockey tonight. Host city is St. Catharines, Ontario. Great hockey heritage there. Ron McLean and company will be in town, and it's the Calgary Flames and the Chicago Blackhawks as the centerpiece game. Bob Cole and Gary Galley with the call in that one. That's over on City. So I hope you can drop in for all or part of that. Over after it is Gaborik, fires one, and that ends up in the mesh, and a whistle.
When Reimer's playing well, he plays a quiet game. He's not moving and overplaying pucks, and tonight he's playing well. Nice quiet game. His rebound control has been excellent. He hasn't seen a lot of big-time looks yet. The defense has been good in front of him, and Reimer's been solid in the net.
Puck knocked down, and goal up after it. Number 28 there for the Kings. Trying to coax that puck loose, gets a little bit of help. Gaborik is in front, trying to get it to him. He was there at the edge of the crease, but Williams wasn't able to get it on his stick. Knocked up along the boards, Regier. And pinched up to keep it in. Here's Williams into traffic. Back at the line, zipped in by Martinez. Gardner now settling things down for Toronto. Van Riemsdyk takes a look in a big circle, moves it up ahead. Holzer skips it up to the corner, and that will be an icing call on the Leafs.
And then Holzer would like to have that icing play back, but Reimer, here is a look at his work tonight. And again, rebound to the side of the net, another rebound to the side of the net where he's in perfect position for the second attempt. Paddle down on the wraparound, nice rebound control there. Again, nice short rebounds, things going to the corners. And you like the control in this game tonight.
Puck comes right back off the draw, fired in there quickly by Jeff Carter. Nice stop again by Reimer. Had to be alert there. Brown works it up. Carter zipping in there. He's got it now. Twisting and turning. Kopitar switched off with him. Puck comes up here to McNabb. Brown is down low. This is Brown. Centers it out in front. Skipping up there was Kopitar. Doughty, Kopitar in the corner, looking, passing it up. Oh, moving in was McNabb from the left point and just failed to negotiate contact there as that pass came out. Holzer plays it back. Here's Gardner. McNabb moves it up. Clifford lost it. McNabb. Clifford. A little bit of room. slipped the noose there as Holzer had him lined up. Clifford going for the net, had a swat at it. Santorelli, 2 points in this game, a goal and an assist. Here's Kadri, flying in. Santorelli and Winnick both with him. Kadri slithering there along the boards, given a pop by Green. And the puck comes out, and the Kings on the way back. Clifford clears it up to the corner. Lewis in there. Franson. Santorelli. Ricocheted in by Winnick. Leafs changing. Martinez with it. Pearson. Richards coming up into that right wing corner. Got it across in front as Pearson had jumped up into the slot. Pearson intercepted by Lupul. Clarkson is on the way down the middle. Can he get to that bouncing puck? Not that time. Pearson plays it up. King coming up hard after it. He'll get there. King, Richards. Robidas right on him. Regeer taps it up towards the corner. Richards tied up. King is in there. Taking a working over. Puck comes loose. Riley got it up along the boards, and the Leafs will prevail. Clarkson again up ahead of the play over on the left side. Lupul with it. Gets it over. Back to Clarkson. And he was tied up on the play. Clarkson into the corner. Double team. Got the puck back along the boards. Martinez. Clarkson and Holland both up to pressure. Holland wins that puck for Toronto. Back to the blue line. Franson, that quick release again. And he just missed that time. That quick release got him a goal in the first period. And he just missed there.
Well, if you look at the goals against for the Toronto Maple Leafs, if you take away those 2 blowouts, boy, are they playing well defensively. Now you say, well, you can't do that, and you're right. But I really believe that Nashville game was a coaching moment for Randy Carlyle where he finally got the team's attention and said, yeah, it's okay to score goals, but we need to clean up our own end in our defensive game if we're going to expect to win it all. And the team has bought in, and the results have been terrific since.
That was an attention getter, all right. Those back-to-back horrible efforts. Here's Van Riemsdyk. Gets it right out in front. Cleared away by Quick. And speaking of Quick, Gaborik on the move down that right side. He's up after the puck. Came around and had it knocked away by Gardner. Gave it away. Doughty fired one in. That was blockered aside by Reimer. Puck down into the corner. Holzer squeezed his man. Williams. Back in comes Williams. Dishes it across. Williams going to the net looking for a return feed. Progress impeded there nicely by Holzer. Puck comes out. Stepping up after it. Regeer. Will he get a shot? Fires it right into the crowd. A maze of sticks and skates there in front of Reimer. Quick out to play. Regeer. Franson played it out. Winnick there at the blue line, nowhere to go. Santorelli up in the forecheck. Franson moving up there for the Leafs. Kadri tapped at it. Santorelli up for Winnick. Leaping after that puck, slipped around his man. Here's Regeer for the Kings. Kadri plays it back up. Carter. And it skips up off a player and into the Leafs bench. So we get a stoppage. 5:09 to go, second period. Leafs are up 2-0 on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet. Back at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto early on a Sunday evening. You know, our archive system at Sportsnet is extensive and deep, and we troll back into it to find evidence of Greg Millen's West Coast road trip suit, and there it be.
Oh, the truck is at it again, are you?
You have always been a Natalie attired individual, but that really,
No.
that upped it. That really upped it.
It was pink. It wasn't baby blue. So there's something wrong with this picture here. My former coach, Jacques Martin, still talks about that, so he liked it so much. Got the boys going a bit. We didn't get to LA in the South very much back then, Roman.
Riley pushed it in over the blue line. Nice little solo effort up there by Riley. Wasn't quite able to finish. McNabb threw a net over him in the end. McNabb moves it up to Foley. Will chase it down in the corner. Clifford up there with him. Puck moved back towards the line. Martinez fires a wrist shot. That skipped right through the slot. Moving up, Regier in there deep. Toffoli was looking for it. And the puck tapped out. Lugging it in is Booth. Oh, he's crunched there. Martinez really had him lined up. Got the better of him. Booth still up looking for the puck. Martinez up for Clifford. Long pass over on the right side, looking for Justin Williams. Fights his way in, scores! Great effort by Williams.
Keep an eye on the high stick initially and then afterwards on Gardner. Here's the play, high stick. Does he touch the puck first? And then it goes right on to Williams. Well, what a play by Williams. Who gets the puck? Williams? Right there. What a play. And that's a good goal.
What a great play.
And Randy Carlyle saying the puck was hit with a high stick, and then Gardner hit it outwards.
Justin Williams, though, with some...
And Williams goes for the puck, gets it right away. Here's the high stick to begin with. There. Down it comes.
Yeah.
And then there's the goal.
So Carlisle is right. The goal stands. Buzzing up there looking for it. Williams gets it. Clifford and Martinez with the assist at 16:02. So it looked as though the play should have been whistled dead because of a high stick. Here's Holzer shooting. Buzzing. Push it up along the board.
And of course, not a reviewable play.
Here's Doughty. Bozak watching him. This is Muzzin. Gaborik. Williams. Back in for Doughty. Comes back. Fired there by Richards. Skips up around. Regier. Doughty. Coming out towards the front there was Brown. He punched it just wide. Martinez swoops into the corner. Phaneuf trying to contain him. Puck touched back to the point. Brown. Regier back to Brown. Got a little give and go there. Had the give part, but no go. Martinez played it up. Holzer to Lupul. Clarkson trying to bat it down. Martinez. Chopped in there by Carter. Kopitar and Brown both up looking for it. So the Kings, with some hope, down by one. Bit of a break on that goal, but it stands. Williams gets it despite the fact it looked as though he double hit with the high stick. Puck fired. It was the elite player who'd hit it with a high stick, and then the first player to touch the puck after it had been hit with the high stick was Gardner, and the play should have been whistled dead. However, it wasn't, and Williams, despite that, with some great hustle, got to that puck and was able to chop it into the goal. Kadri. Santorelli. Winnick comes away with it. And pocket just picked there by Green. It's by Robidoux. Toffoli comes in, waiting for the reinforcements to catch up. Over to Clifford, and Clifford looked up just at the last second. The hair in the back of his neck standing up, I'll bet, as he could hear Kadri coming. Puck tapped out. And the puck skips in there, quick dishes it off. Under a minute to go, long pass up. Here comes Pearson, shoots from well out, goes after his own rebound. He'll get some help up there from King. Pearson with the puck, gets it out to the side, rising shot. And Van Riemsdyk looks as though he was hit.
He got it with the puck.
Puck will come out into the slot. That was the puck on that shot that hit Van Riemsdyk. Meanwhile, Stoll back to the blue line. Puck fired in just wide. King up looking for it. He gets that puck. Here's King. Muscles to the side. Shoved at it.
It's in.
And it's in. And the Kings tie it up with 13.3 seconds to go.
And the Los Angeles Kings were starting to come on here in the second period, in the latter half. And they just take it to the net, and it just goes in. Right between the post and the pad of James Reimer. Is the Leafs exit the zone before the puck. Both defensemen are caught up high. And then the Kings just take it towards the net. And here's the initial play by King. And right in front is Pearson. I believe he will get contact credit for the goal as he knocks it in afterwards.
You think it was him, or you think King did it?
King was there, and whether the puck carried in through after the initial chance, or did he knock it in afterwards?
Tough to tell, but the bottom line is it's a goal, and the Kings, with a break here and a break there, have taken advantage, and we are all tied at 2. So the table is set for a good third.
Intact Insurance, proud to partner with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So it is King who gets credit for the goal at 19:46. We are all tied at 2. Here's Darren Millard. Tonight's second period summary is brought to you by Fallsview Casino Resort in Niagara Falls, the place you want to be. The Leafs would prefer to be up by a score of 2-0. Kings with 2 late ones, and we're all tied up as we prepare for the third period. Before that, Chris and Chris.
Thanks very much, Paul. Yeah, Chris, we saw Justin Williams get the goal scoring started for the Kings there in the second period. He's been a huge part of the Kings' success, but what does the future hold for him?
Well, you don't win 3 Stanley Cups and a Conn Smythe Trophy without being to live in the moment, and that's essentially where Justin Williams is right now. He's playing at the final year of his contract with the LA Kings. He's a smart guy. He can look at their picture. They're very tight against the cap. They have some younger players to sign, and there is a possibility there won't be room for him long term. Now, should that happen, and that still, of course, is a big if, I think it's fair to say he is the one player that will be able to pick his destination in free agency. He's played well despite all this and the uncertainty. That's 11 points now for him in 14 games.
Yes, the line would be long of suitors for him. Now, we heard the guys during the intermission talk about secondary scoring for the Leafs. Probably no better example of that than Richard Panik. He scored the game winner last night and is on a career year.
He is, and they have the Leafs have a division rival in the Tampa Bay Lightning essentially to thank for this one. Obviously getting Richard Panik back on October 8th on waivers. I had a chance to speak with Lightning head coach John Cooper recently, and he's very fond of Panik, but simply with the depth of forwards on that team, he got beat out in camp, but Cooper did mention to me that he feared right from the beginning that Panik would make them regret the fact that they didn't find room for him on the roster, and he has settled in here. He's still playing a fourth line role, but I think he's getting more comfortable, and in speaking with Panik, I know he wants to make the kind of relationship with Randy Carlyle he once had with John Cooper.
Well, he was the hero last night. We'll see who the hero is tonight. Paul and Greg, up to you.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. And Chris, well, Panik, a great pickup by the Leafs. They've had a few. You've been around this team a lot. Who stands out if you had to pick one? Nicest off-season addition to the team?
Winnick. Daniel Winnick, for me, he just gives you so much leadership, penalty killing, and you see what he's done with Kadri on this line, with Santorelli on the other side, who gets honorable mention for me also.
I was going to say a close second. I would think would have to be Santorelli. Puck back at the line. Branson. Muzzin ricochets it up ahead, was looking for Dustin Brown. Reimer out to play it. Kadri. Here comes Phaneuf. Winding his way up through center. And he'll chop it in. Regier digs it there to Williams. Gaborik got it up ahead. Stoll was angling his way in towards the net. Chops it back down. Williams moves in. Centers it. He scores! Gaborik.
And Reimer makes an incredible first save, and Gaborik gets his own rebound. And Toronto Maple Leafs here sitting back a bit. The LA Kings smell blood. And when the Stanley Cup champions smell blood, you're in trouble. A harmless looking cycle here. The defense gets caught way too high. Gardner leaves his feet, and that allows Williams, who the guys just talked about, to find Gardner right in front of the net here. And it's Holzer who goes down. Check that. Gardner gets caught up high, and Gaborik's left wide open in the 2-on-1 down low.
So Gaborik, who hit the 700 career point mark late last season, picks up the go-ahead goal here early in the third. And you called it, partner, the defending Stanley Cup champions. They got their foot weaseled in the door just a little bit, and they barged their way right in.
Yeah, well, they get a break with that goal that shouldn't have counted to get them on the board. And then Reimer lets a tough one in from a bad angle after the defense got caught up ice, and the defense gets caught up ice again. And the end result is a 2-on-1 low, and they don't miss those too many with Gaborik and Williams tied up together on a play.
Here comes Holland. See how the Leafs bounce back. Lupul coming in. Holland going for the net. Lupul cuts across and is being watched closely there by Martinez. Williams moved it up. Chopped ahead by Clifford. And Reimer parks it. Booth knifes it in on goal. Quick. Just knock that away. McNabb will start back. Pearson. Sharp angle. Skips all the way up around the board. Booth was waiting for it. Fighting his way through is Richards. Back after the game. Phaneuf trying to hold him off. Panik. Quick out there to play it. King taps it up ahead. Richards lifted it up ahead. He was looking for Pearson over on the left side. This is Green. Feathers it up there along the right side. Gardner. Holzer. Winnick will pound it in. Kadri up there in the forecheck. And the Kings back quickly. Brown in over the blue line. Santorelli will pick it up. Holzer. Kadri comes in. Gets it across. Holzer picking his way through. Giving a bump there along the boards. Lost his stick. Lost the puck. Lost his glove. Gardner floats one in. Winnick after. Here's Kadri. Doughty watching him. Kadri, nice job to slip away. Drops it down low. Santorelli buzzing around up there in the corner. Kadri is down low. Winnick with the puck. Gardner shoots. Ripped a wrist shot just wide. Kadri waiting for it there. Puck knocked in front. Winnick just failed to get his stick on it. Came to his backhand. Santorelli had it pushed away. Santorelli and Kopitar along the boards. This is Riley all the way back in his own end. Long pass up there to Winnick. Plays it back. Riley. Both teams making some changes. Leafs led 2-0. Kings coming back with 3. And on top 3-2 here early in this third period as the puck hops up over the glass and out of play.
Well, the Los Angeles Kings, let's look and see how they came back. First of all, this play where Jake Gardiner touches the puck with a high stick. He would have been better off to go back and get it, but then he touches it again. That should have been blown down. It wasn't. Williams takes advantage of it. Carlisle didn't like it, and he was right. And here's the last minute of the period. These are killers as James Reimer just didn't tighten up close to the post. That cost him a goal. And then there is the last one where Jake Gardiner gets caught way too high up. The 2-on-1 was set up down low, and Williams converts to Gabrick to give the Kings a lead here in the third period.
So the Leafs giving up the 3 tonight equals the goals against total in their previous 3 games. Puck moves up ahead. Clarkson. Lupul coming up there to look for it. Oh, puck bounces down. And a rising shot fired by Clarkson. Nice job to jump up onto that loose puck, and he got a decent shot coming in there off the wing.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey. Brought to you by Molson Canadian, die-hard fan and proud partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Why is Quick considered one of the best goalies in the league? His save percentage in third periods, .984. It's remarkable. He closes down games like no other goalie in the league.
Down in the corner.
Think of that.
Here's Toffoli. Yeah, I mean,
He already has the third best save percentage in the league at .931. He's .984 in third periods.
I said off the top of the show, not much doubt, if there is any, that he's the greatest goalie in LA Kings history.
Rogie.
But he's surpassed Rogie in numbers. Different era. I think the shooters are better in this era. And that's due respect to Rogie Vachon, who's a great goalie.
I think the best answer is you can't compare from one era to the next.
That's
very difficult to do.
That's the bailout answer.
No, it's the right. Because I know one thing. The goalies are much better today than they were when I was around for the most part.
And the puck jam there at the side. Kyle Clifford, number 13, was right there looking for it. Well, hometown hockey tonight coming from St. Catharines, Ontario, and there's a guy from there, and that's a guy you would have faced, my friend.
Yeah, I saw him a lot, and probably too much, as he was just a tremendous player, great goal scorer, the Triple Crown line that did a lot of damage in the National Hockey League. And there he is a St. Catharines Blackhawk.
Look at that. Handsome young guy, hair all brill creamed into place.
Second overall in that draft behind Guy Lafleur.
Shot fired in there. Panik coming down the right side. Kessel going after it. Pearson got it up into the corner. King. Pearson trying to fight his way through. Pushed just wide there by Richards. Richards, oh, swing and a miss there. And Riemsdyk just missed it. Great chance for Kessel just a few moments ago.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet. We all know he only needs one shot. And he had his opportunity there, but Quick was all over it, almost like he knew where he was going. These two have been teammates in the past, so maybe he did.
Carter. Kopitar going after it. Van Riemsdyk. Kessel waits. Just the wrong side of Van Riemsdyk there. Wasn't able to wheel it in. Brown shoveled the puck in and was jolted by Robidas. Holzer turned it over. Kopitar works it down, fires it in on goal. Reimer made the stop. Kopitar works it back. Doughty, top of the point, shoots. That one is stopped. Rebound pops out. Kadri controlling for the Leafs. Over for Robidas. Here comes Kadri breaking in. Trying to fight his way through. Santorelli following up. Winnick up there as well. Muzzin. Oh, Robidas spinning around. Wasn't able to win the puck.
The Leafs can get back on the forecheck just a little bit here. They're going to be okay in this game still, but not this way.
Stoll dished it off. He'll go to the net looking for the return feed and was held up there a little bit. Couldn't get to the puck. Gardner did a good job to stay with him. That one's lofted in wide by Martinez.
And the reason I say that, at the moment, the way the defense is for the Los Angeles Kings, they're not a Stanley Cup defense right now with a suspension going on and an injury.
This is Stoll. Switches off there with Martinez.
They are thin in the back end.
Oh, Martinez ready to jump up. Nice job to tap it down, but wasn't able to maintain control.
But somehow you got to get away from this LA Kings forecheck because they're spending most of the time at the moment in the Leafs zone.
Riley. Backhands it to the line, knocked down. Leafs have to hustle in a change there. Back the other way. Toffoli, backhand shot. Reimer stopped that, couldn't cover it up. This is Lupul churning back on the way in. Holland was with him but broken up. Toffoli comes back in, wide, shoots right on. Stopped and held by Reimer. Toffoli coming down that right side. Had a good look. You're watching Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on Sportsnet. Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Tim Hortons, official copy of the NHL.
Well, taking pucks to the net, and we saw the Kings do that in their second goal, which was very successful for them with their big forwards. And for the Leafs, a neutral zone, and this is where they've got to find a way to get through the LA Kings, the neutral zone work in this third period to get back into LA zone and get some zone time in the offensive area.
Here's one of those half-empty or half-full portion of the glass. Do you give the Kings credit for the way they battle back, or have the Leafs blown it somewhat?
Or run out of gas.
Puck fired in there by Doughty, knocked away. Leafs had a 2-0 lead. Kings have battled back. A couple of goals late in the second period and the go-ahead marker here in the third. They're up 3-2. And the Leafs trying to battle back. Smith up there after it. Booth trying to win that puck in the corner. He was high-sticked, it appeared, as they went in. He and Lewis tangling to try to get to it.
Is it 2 or 4? Doughty shouldn't think it's anything, but here comes the stick. No doubt about it. And a huge opportunity for the Leaf power play to go to work here and tie this one up.
So Trevor Lewis heads to the penalty box. He got that stick up and combed it along. So he will cool his heels.
And the Leafs still not winning the face-off situation after 2 periods. The Kings had won 64% of the draw. Bozak will take this one, and this is a big face-off as the Leafs need some possession time here. The only thing about the PK for Los Angeles is they have 5 shorthanded goals on the season, 4 of them by Toffoli.
Well, the big line has not been the big line so far in this game, and they can step out of the shadows into the spotlight right here. They're all out there for the power play, and this is Kessel. Works it across, runs it in front, scores! James Van Riemsdyk with the goal. The Leafs have tied it.
They win the draw. Get puck possession. What a play by Cody Franson. Through the box, able to pass it, and then Franson finds Van Riemsdyk. We showed him in the first period how he goes to the net on the power play. Was rewarded for it last night against Detroit. Again, stick down right on the tape, and a beautiful goal to tie this game up on the special teams. And the Los Angeles Kings have had that issue, killing penalties. A couple of nights ago, Montreal scored a power play goal right off the face-off as well.
8 seconds into the power play. Reimer covers it up. And Franson, really a tower of strength out there for the Leafs. 31 of his last 52 points. 31 of his last 52 on the power play.
Here's a pretty darn good save. Here is a mix-up between Reimer and Phaneuf behind the net, and then a giveaway right through the middle of the ice there. And Reimer had to make an excellent save.
So JVR from Franson and Kessel at 8:49. As I mentioned, 8 seconds into the power play. The Leafs strike. The iron was hot, and we're tied at 3. And here comes Kadri, wheeling and dealing in. Working up ahead, Winnick in there! Oh, glorious chance. Winnick feeds it back to the blue line. Phaneuf couldn't get over there in time. Here's Franson, back to Phaneuf. Deep breath here for both teams. Stage set for a nice stretch run in this one. Stoll pitches off, he'll go to the net. Gaborik shooting! Reimer stopped that. Good pad save. Rebound gobbled up. Williams dangerous down there. Regier skates back. He's got company right up on him as Holland. Gardner. Holzer taps it up. Here comes Lupul. Shifty through center. He's in there. Fires one. Rebound pops out. Oh, that was a tester as quick fired out that right pad. Here comes Williams. And offside. 9:34 to go. Tied at 3. Rounding the clubhouse turn and down the stretch they come. James Reimer has answered the call as this game has gotten tighter.
Well, after the Leafs tie it up, James Reimer has a couple of big-time saves here right in the slot. There's one with the pad off Richards. No rebound. And then another one there. As Reimer's had to be very sharp the last couple of minutes as the LA Kings with a bit of a pushback after the Leafs tied this game up.
I mean, you're well paid for it, and it's a great living, no matter how you want to parse it. But when you're the second goalie, and every time you get started, the coach gets second guessed, that's a tough road to hoe in the athletic world.
You keep your work ethic up, as James Reimer does, and then you feel prepared. And when you feel prepared, you're much better off in those situations to go in a game and answer the bell.
Here's Doughty.
And Reimer's very good at staying prepared. A real hard-working player.
Gardner got it up. Bozak out there for Van Riemsdyk. Back to the blue line. Holzer waiting. Up there, Van Riemsdyk. Muscled along the boards by Muzzin. Comes back out. Holzer. No position to shoot. Just fires it up. And here's Kessel. Waiting. Passing. Tried to get it out in front. It was knocked away. Quick got his stick on it. In comes Doughty. Angle was too sharp, and Gardner got his stick down there, too. Pearson into the corner. Lewis is looking for it. Here's Holzer. Martinez. Over to Lewis. Up towards the blue line. Toffoli trailing in the play. Lewis into the corner. He was slammed. This is Booth. In over the line. Riley jumping right up there. Toffoli pulled him down. And
that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, he
right
was
there.
Looking towards the referee. Appealing. Booth. Connick. Oh, and that was a mess, wasn't it? Puck comes up ahead. Lewis. Given a bump there by Panik. Stickless, but able to lay the body on. Puck bounces down. Toffoli tucks it up there for Lewis. Jumps up into the corner. Riley stuck to him. Clifford was knocked down. And held down. Puck played down the ice. Meanwhile, McNabb back to get it. Leafs hustle in a change. McNabb got it up ahead there for Kopitar and over the blue line. Carter looking for Kopitar. He was knocked down there by Franzen, who was draped on him like an overcoat as they went to the net. Wasn't letting him out of eyesight. Enough ricochets it up. Winnick was stiff there by Green. And play is whistled down.
This season, stay out of the penalty box. Find gifts you'll adore, like Arctic Brilliance Canadian Diamonds, only at People's, Canada's diamond store. Let love shine.
Well, you mentioned Panik's goal last night. What a beauty it was. His stick explodes on him here. Now he's in trouble. What does he do without a hockey stick? Nice contact on Lewis, and then recognizes he better go get a stick. Does that and gets back into the defensive posture to make a good play defensively with a new stick.
Enough. Lupul. Clarkson up there too. Trying to get by it. Puck was tapped with a high stick. Play whistle down. Clarkson has been around the puck tonight. Last Saturday against Vancouver at his first multi-point game as the lead coming on, but Leaf fans still hoping for more, and no doubt Randy Carlyle is too.
Randy Carlyle just pushing his team behind the bench a little more. He knows his group is tired. Been a tough turnaround for them. A little encouragement behind the bench. Push through, boys. At least get 1 point here, and then you can work on the bonus point afterwards.
Lupul pushing it over there. Holland got it back. Gardner, quick wrist shot. Yeah, didn't really get much on it. Lupul looking for it there in the corner. Gardner up there along the boards. Williams is tying him up, and away comes Doughty. And he'll kick it right down the middle and in over the blue line. Dishes off. Puck comes back, and back on the play to break it up is Holland, and away he goes, jackrabbiting down that right side, trying to cut towards the slot. Clarkson up there with him. Clarkson in the corner. And Gaborik on him. Clarkson still going after it. Holzer moves up, moves deeper, tried to center it. Quick was down and knocked it away. And the puck cleared in by Williams. Both teams making changes. Inside the last 6 minutes of regulation. All tied at 3. Leafs led 2-0. Kings came back to take a 3-2 lead. Toronto getting it back to tie this one. Quick will hang on. So 5:26 to go. All tied at 3 on Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet. Review is brought to you by The Brick, saving you more on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Santorelli with a goal tonight. The Kings come back. They get ahead, but you got to give the Leafs credit who have had trouble against the Kings, and the Leafs got to get some points to the bank as much as they can. After the next game, they got one more home game, and then they got 8 of 9 on the road. Of course, they've only played 3 home games since November the 12th, so they're going to see a bunch of them coming up.
Well, you got to take the rough with the smooth. The World Junior Hockey Championship comes in to set up stakes in Toronto and Montreal, so that's great for hockey fans, but the rough part is the Leafs go on the road for an extended period. It'll be tough to deal with. Doughty up there for Brown. Here's Santorelli. Kadri was run over there a little bit. He got tangled up with Brown. And Kadri after it. He'll get there. Gets a chance. Oh, quick followed him across. And
Penalty
a penalty coming up. No, just a hooking call.
Kadri wants it.
I wondered.
Kadri gets knocked down, so he's a little slow getting up. And when he gets up, all of a sudden the puck arrives. So he doesn't really get back in the play after Leafs do a nice job standing up. There's that little tap from behind. And let's see if this warrants a penalty shot or not.
No way.
I don't mind 2 minutes on that play. if they can win another draw here, Bozak.
Big lines out for the power play. They took 8 seconds into their last power play to convert. Van Riemsdyk was parked right in front. Let's see what they do. Now, they'll do it again. Kings win the face-off. And Carter will carry it down, flicks it up. It's tipped up over the glass into the netting.
The Kings, Jake Muzzin, 2 for hooking at 14:55.
Get ready for game time with over 100 menu items. Order now at bostonpizza.com for delivery.
Oh, possible turning point, just under 5 to go. Leafs on the power play, all tied at 3. Big line out there for Toronto. Regeer fires it in. Doughty. Enough. Van Riemsdyk over to his left. Will take the feed. Chips it back up for Nuff on the give and go, and it worked perfectly except for the finish. The captain jumping right up there, and he got a good chance. Franson snaking his way to his own blue line, left it there. Van Riemsdyk again. Phaneuf works it over. Franson. Phaneuf. Franson sneaking up on that right side, down low, puck in front, Bozak with a chance, and Quick sprawling after it, it comes back out, Phaneuf works it up there, Kessel looking, Franson trying to sneak in over on the right side, Kessel waiting like a panther ready to pounce as he just looks for an opening. He's got it again. Kessel gets it down there. Bozak jams at it. Quick is there at the stop. The puck is still loose. Puck gets out. Trying to tuck it in from the side was Bozak. He's up there. Leafs really pressuring on this power play. Franson, Van Riemsdyk. Kessel, he wanted it. Banging his stick in the ice. Kessel still waiting. Passing, Phaneuf shooting. It wobbles through. Barely any momentum left by the time it got to Quick.
And Bozak is saying, really? Are you going to give me one? I got 5 shots tonight, and I've had beauties. And look at all the chances. Here's the first period. Quick robs him in the first period, and then in the first period again. Does Quick get a piece of that? He might have. And here's the last one. It's no wonder that Bozak's saying, are you kidding me? Give me something. As Quick is absolutely robbed Bozak throughout the game.
5 shots on goal for Bozak. Muzzin poised to step back out onto the ice. This is Kadri. Gets in, drops it off. He goes towards the net now. Up back of the goal. Kadri with it to Lupul. Looking around. Clarkson is parked in front. Shot comes through. It'll skip up. Kadri. Clarkson. You can hear Lupul yelling for it. He's got it now. Muscles his way out. Back to the line, and a little too heavy for Gardner. Wasn't able to keep it in. Here comes Doughty. Tried to tuck it up there to Gaborik coming down the right side.
Toronto have to be really tidy here now, making sure they don't get their sticks in an area that might get them a penalty, as the Kings have been on the penalty kill a little bit here in this third period and late in the third period also. We've got a lot of players tonight have good nights for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Nazem Kadri and his line mates have been terrific. And here's a sampling of his work. He's been involved. Look at him there on the back check, directing traffic. On the forecheck physically, and Muzzin had set up a nice chance in period number 2. And he had a breakaway in this game as well. And he has been a very active player for the Toronto Maple Leafs and had a good night.
Robidas gets it up around. Santorelli after it. Gets it up to Winnick. Oh, he had Holland darting towards the high slot there. Enough. Moves it up. Winnick chops it in. Martinez. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Tied at 3. Kopitar. Oh, walks right through. And tried to pull it back for the shot and lost it. Leafs will come back. Clarkson. Angled out of the play. Doughty. Muzzin. Back for Doughty. Williams plays it all the way up. Gaborik in over the line. Ditches it off. Muzzin fires one up. That'll skip up around the boards. Williams. Gaborik. Up into the corner. Williams gets it up around the boards. Gaborik looking around. Williams is going for the front of the net. He was trying to shake off his man Riley there. He did, but he still couldn't get a stick in the puck. Under a minute to go here in this third period. We're tied at 3. Regier plays it up. Doughty finally heads to the bench after a long shift. Here's Riley for the Leafs, jumping right up, and he stopped at the line.
The refs have been called a couple of names on the ice by the players.
That never happens.
Actually, that one we could actually repeat, I think, but we're not going to.
Here comes Holland. On the way in, Holland fires it up, and Quick will grab it and hang on.
Well, Quick with a couple of big-time saves at one end. Moments ago, he absolutely robs Bozak, which he's done a couple of times. Reimer, he'd like to have the 1 goal back, but other than that, you can't argue with his effort either.
Lots of Sunday night hockey to come your way. Ron McLean and company are in St. Catharines, Ontario. The pregame show is on right now for Hometown Hockey over on City. The game, Calgary and Chicago. Bob Cole with the call along with Gary Galley. And once we're done here, you can pop over to City and catch that game. Phaneuf fires it up. Deflected just wide. Kadri right out between the hash marks and down the ice. And final seconds, and we will go to overtime.
And believe me, the Leafs will take that based on the quick turnover and the tough opponents that they have had, with a big game last night against Detroit, and then tonight, of course, an excellent opponent in the Los Angeles Kings, and it didn't look very good at all for the Maple Leafs early as the Kings opened the scoring in the third period to take the lead. But give the Leafs credit on the power play. They win the draw and immediately turn it over and put it behind Jonathan Quick on a pretty little passing play, which Van Riemsdyk and his office finished. And I mentioned Jonathan Quick. He has been remarkable. As Luc Robitaille looks on, of course, he was at the Jean Beliveau funeral earlier in the week. One of his idols, I'm sure. And earlier in this game, Jonathan Quick made a couple of big-time saves on Bozak, but the way he can get across from one side of the crease to the other is incredible. And a couple of these examples will show you his speed when he does that. The latest one right there on Bozak in the third period, as Bozak had the game winner on his stick. And at the other end, we mentioned Reimer. With the game tied, he's made a couple of big saves, and for the most part, his rebound control has been excellent. He's smothered a lot of pucks. And pretty steady throughout the contest. Which sets up a 3-3 battle and an entertaining overtime session coming up.
It's nice to be positive, and I think you can say positive things about both goalies tonight. They both had their moments, both looked sharp, both struggled for brief periods, but all in all, be happy with both their efforts. I think both coaches would be happy with the way they played.
And here's the goalies union at its best. maybe they're chirping. Quick's kind of confused, thinking, oh yeah, we got to switch ends for the long change. And you know something? I think he forgot.
They've gotten rid of the dry scrape. For no other reason, it's great because you don't have to talk about the dry scrape, which sounds like a day at the spa gone horribly wrong. So that's gone, but they do switch ends.
I mean, he really did say, where are you going?
Oh, I know.
We're going to my net. Oh yeah, I forgot. We switch ends in overtime now again.
So they do switch ends. 4-on-4.
And the long change has worked in a few overtime games to create some more offense.
This is Cadry. Down that right side, pulled away. Carter. Tip through, loophole. Oh, had visions of a goal there. Catches up to it in the corner. Cadry up there with him. Franson moves up. Franson to Lupul. Franson drifts towards the front of the net. Cadry was popped there by Doughty. Enough up there.
And one thing the Leafs have to watch here is not to be too long in their shifts with this back-to-back situation. They got to keep it quick and not get hung out on a 4-on-4 play against the Los Angeles Kings.
Holzer right out there for the Leafs to start the overtime, although he's without a stick right now. Carrying it up is Williams. Williams gets it out in front, and Reimer right down to smother it.
And Holzer loses his stick way at the other end. And good recognition by the Los Angeles Kings on the play. There goes the stick down. Now the Leafs are in trouble. The 4-on-4, but really a 4-on-3 because Holzer doesn't have a stick. Kessel fills in. And the end result is a pretty darn good chance where Reimer came across beautifully to make the save.
Stoll up in the face-off against Santorelli. Kings have dominated the face-offs tonight. Franson. Holland over to Franson. Enough. Santorelli. Beetling along that left side, up towards the corner. Holland after it. Up there, stolen by Holland. Works it back out. O'Reilly jumped up, didn't want to get caught. He's going to hustle back. Gaborik slows things down, looking still, gets it over. Muzzin fires one, and it's tipped up over the glass and into the netting.
Yeah, good stick there by Santorelli because there was a situation where the Leafs were out there a little bit too long as Holland goes back to the point and then the puck hopped over the stick. And good play right there by Santorelli to sort out the play and then get a stick into the shooting lane so they could get a change. Kopitar versus Kadri.
And Kadri out there with Van Riemsdyk. Oh, here's Doughty. Moves it across, gets a look, fires one. And it was knocked up and play whistled down. The referee in a discussion there with Williams.
And that's what I was worried about. As Kadri on the face-off dot is not going to win that one very often against Kopitar. And I'm wondering maybe why Bozak wasn't on the ice in this situation. And a great save by Reimer. And Doughty's a little bit sour. He didn't score on that one. And here comes Bozak. Were you listening, Randy?
And it is the aforementioned Bozak on the face-off against Kopitar. Williams, after that puck, enough right in there for the Leafs. Franson. tight spin, and he starts up. Van Riemsdyk. He's got some speed coming down that left side and couldn't climb his way past Doughty. Doughty looks to the referee calling for a penalty. He is helmetless. Kopitar. Doughty. Here's Gardner. Robidas over the line, drops for Bozak, works it through. Robidas following through, overskated it. Carter coming up to the line there with Toffoli, who moves in. He fires that one. Martinez up after it. Here's Martinez. Carter. Toffoli. Robidas. Van Riemsdyk in over the blue line, shifting his way through, using that size of his and that reach. Backhanded it up over the net. Puck will bounce down. Kept in. Nice job by Kadri. Moves up. Little move there. Looking around. Back up for Franzen. Shoots. Knocked away by Quick. Gardner up there, back of the net. Gets it to Kadri. Franzen. Puck was hopping on him. Kessel there to snare it. Looking. Phaneuf. Kadri's in front. Phaneuf tried to center it. Cuts all the way around. Phaneuf still after that puck. Kadri. Oh, he's looking for Franzen in the high slot. He's got it now. Fires one across. Kessel couldn't knock it down, but here he has it. Kessel all the way back. Looking. Tried to fire it through, and right on top of him was Martinez. He had no chance there. Martinez sends it in inside the final 45 seconds of overtime. Gaborik up there, couldn't win the puck. Enough.
The Leafs need a change in their defense here.
Kessel got it there for Holland. Guides it in. Leafs will get into change. Maybe the last one of the overtime. Doughty. Here comes Richards. Down that left side. Drops it back. Muzzin fired one on goal, and that is stopped.
Well, we might as well revisit this because I don't know that you could get a bigger overtime goal than Martinez did in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. And let's revisit it. That's the biggest goal he will ever score. What a moment that was. It'll go down in Stanley Cup history, that baby.
The Stanley Cup clinching goal. A tough one to top, to be sure.
Can you imagine?
What would be maybe the Olympic gold medal winning goal, maybe, depending on your perspective. Doughty got it up ahead. Kopitar looks around. Doughty is right up there. Centered it in front. Oh, and Gaborik was right there on the edge of the crease just as time runs out.
And Kopitar, a dangerous guy, and Gaborik trying to get position, and Robidas with a wonderful defensive play. And a little shootout. And now the goalies will switch back to the respective nets that they started with, or the home net. As the LA coaching staff discussing who they would like in this shootout situation. And Wednesday night in Detroit, Santorelli with the 5-hole goal to seal the deal for the Maple Leafs in a big win at the Joe Louis.
Kings 1-3 in shootouts this year. Toronto 1-1. And Lupul will shoot first. He is 0 for 1 in shootouts so far this year. Takes the first one. Lupul in. Score!
Earlier in the game, I mentioned that the only area where Quick seems to be vulnerable is on the glove side. I don't care who shoots that baby. I mean, Lupul got all of it up over top of the glove of Jonathan Quick.
Gaborik 1 for 2 in shootouts this year. And Reimer was there. Got enough.
Reimer well out of his net on this play.
The second shooter for Toronto.
And he was thinking shooting all the way. Reimer in, makes a nice save. Is Bozak ever going to score on Quick? Let's find out.
He is 2 for 2 in shootouts this year. Here he comes.
Nope. He's had his number all game long. It wasn't pretty, but Quick got the job done on that save.
It's Dustin Brown, and it is his first shootout attempt this year. And he's stopped.
Battle by Reimer as he fights it off and makes sure it doesn't dribble through him on that play.
Santorelli 1 for 1 in shootouts. He won it on Wednesday. He can nail it down here. Will he do it? Santorelli with the chance. No, sir.
He had him. And the puck just rolls off his stick. Jonathan Quick was scrambling a bit here. That move, down he went, committed early Quick, but he was there, but it rolled off the end of the stick of Santorelli.
Kopitar to stay alive. He is 0 for 4 in shootout attempts this year. Can Reimer win it for them? He does it.
That is a character win for James Reimer in the Toronto Maple Leafs, as James Reimer with 74 saves in his last 2 games in a gritty effort to defeat the Stanley Cup champion, and a real quick turnover for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And it looks as though he got his glove on that attempt. Just enough of it.
Kopitar going backhand cheese. The pitchers tell the story, don't they?
A story of relief for James Reimer.